Guys, Deludiguno, he doesn't play for us, but he's a player I like, and I'll make a few vids about him. If you haven't seen it already, just type in Rashford and then Pepe and Mbappe, whatever his name is, Deludiguno will come up. Marcus Rashford, I've got a lot of time for him. I'm not going to go into his backlog. We know he burst onto the scene and he's done his bits for United and he's somewhat a senior player. People thought this time last year it was going to be the end of his short time at United because Jose, the youth football killer was coming, and it turns out Rashford's in the top three appearances made under Jose. Yes, he's played out wide. He's had patches where he weren't scoring. It weren't all plain sailing for him, but he's a young guy. Trials and tribulations come into it when you're a young pro. These are things you're gonna have to put up with. He's responded well, but more to the point, this preseason, I don't wanna get ahead of myself. And like I said about the Osu one, Rashford, please don't make me look silly. Don't let people come back here and banter me, but he looks like he's going to do some bits. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know how many goals he got last year. The season before, he obviously scored more. If I stand mistaken, if I'm wrong, I'll be pretty surprised if I'm wrong on that aspect. But he does look like he's going to score a lot more goals. He's a good finisher, but I'd also say last year he wasn't. I wouldn't say I was short. He was assured of himself. If we look at Mbappe or Mbappe, whatever you want to call him, when he was a one-on-one versus keeper, he had that bravado, like he's been around for ages, that he knew he was going to score. Rashford's a good finisher, but he didn't always have that conviction. He showed it in patches, but not all the time. And he was very easy to read where he was shooting. You'd see shots get scruffed or under hit, or he just his body language would be too easy to read. This preseason now, of course, it's preseason, and if the season comes, it's a different thing. Rashford again, don't make me look silly. He looks very much assured of where he wants to score. I know he's got bravado already. You've seen him try Rabonas and crazy free kicks. He's got bravado. But the bravado and the conviction, the confidence I'm seeing when he's opening up his body, trying to put it into the far post. When he scored them two against Galaxy, who was it? I think the one against Galaxy, he put it. Mkhitaryan. It was a counter attack. Mkhitaryan pushed him just far out wide, and he slotted into the far post. Or was that against City? Yeah, it was against City. It was against City. But the two finishes against Galaxy were very good, assured finishes as well. So this preseason, he's moving different. I'm seeing more conviction, more calmness to his play, especially in front of goal. Ultimately, we know he's going to end up one day as a centre mid. So this will help him, centre mid, as a striker. So this is what will help him. People are going ahead of it, but he does look physically bigger as well. Some of that is natural, some of that is his own work. People always praise other players, and I feel they're too reluctant to praise how good of a professional Rashford is. Building gyms into his home, building that whatever sports scientists could tell me, whatever that nonsense Cristiano Ronaldo uses to freeze his body and things like that. Rashford's getting that. Rashford always talks about improving and learning off Zlatan. As you keep seeing me saying, you guys comment and banter me, elite mentality. You can be. Rashford's a good player, but I'm saying in regards to other players, you can be a completely crap player. Slight exaggeration, but you can be a completely crap player and have a good career or make it or be used at clubs if you display consistency, conviction, and assurance. This is what other players. This is why some crap players have careers, and this is why some players that were technically excellent, especially some young players at Arsenal, haven't gone anywhere. This is what makes the difference. It's how you carry yourself. And Rashford, on top of having the ability, he's got the mentality to match. So for me, he's one of these players, regardless of who you support. You just want to see the guy do well. Of course, Rashford, you got to stop scoring against Arsenal. Control yourself on that aspect. But yeah, like this guy looks like he's gonna have a very good season. Very much assured of himself in front of goal. Very much assured of himself with his teammates. Very much taking on more responsibility despite his young ages, and despite the fact there's Pogba, there's Martial, there's Mkhitaryan, there's all these experienced pros and slightly more household names on the pitch. He's saying, no, I'm going to be involved in the teamwork. I'm going to help you break. And it does look exciting with him and Lukaku together, or if Lukaku plays through the middle and Rashford in some games, which will happen, sadly, United fans, has to hold it out wide. Rashford is a player I like a lot, man. Last year, you won't see it now, but I guarantee you guys, and I told you guys in my videos, next year and years to come, you will see his second season as something that was very pivotal in his development, man. But yeah, I don't know how many goals he got last year, but the goals got to be double figures this year. I'm not saying 20 plus because he's not exactly going to get the chance to lead the line for United. Of course, if Jose to be believed, they're going to play two strikers. If Lukaku's injured or needs rest or whatever, he might get a chance. But there's also other players that need a chance. But regardless, I would say double figures, man. I'd say more towards the 10, 15 mark. That's because I believe in Rashford. That's because Rashford played quite a lot of times. That's because Rashford got... did he get double figures last year? I'm sure he did, despite the fact he went on a couple months without scoring, and he went through a drought, which he wasn't playing bad in my opinion. But some fans will tell you differently. But yeah, guys, he's someone I think is gonna have a decent next year. And when you consider it's the World Cup next year, you want him to have that. He's cooler in front of goals. The main thing I want you guys to take away from this, he's cooler and he's using his brain. You've seen typically a lot of young players when they get in front of goal, they make themselves too easy to read, and he's improving of that. A lot of this has to actually go to Louis van Gaal, because if you remember initially, Rashford had problems like this, staying like that. But Louis Van Gaal, you've seen the interviews of Rashford saying how he's helped him stay within the 6 yard box and the movement and things like that. The only thing that I can actually see that Rashford actually needs to improve greatly is his heading, and that could be said for a lot of players, and that's on the basis that if you can header, you just make yourself a better striker, because what are you doing? You're now able to score more types of goals. But for the hold up play and things like that will come as he gets physically bigger. We need to remember he's a young man, but for me, he's skillful. He's getting braver, more bravado, more assured of himself, playing with more conviction, playing with more confidence, added confidence, because he knows on top of being good and Jose believing in him that he belongs here. Of course, when you're a young player, initially you probably question yourself, am I good enough to play here? Was it just luck and injuries that got me into the side, which it did initially for Rashford when he came in. After a while, you see you're good enough, and I like Rashford, man, and especially when he's come from where he's come from, you want to see him go as far as he can. Yeah, I just hope that the same people praising him, like I said with the likes of Rob Holding, etc., the same people helping him climb upon that rope, do not use it to strangle him. But guys, Delulu Gunan signing out Marcus Rashford. Next season, I think he's going to have a good season.